Now, I'm joined in the studio, and Ian was here, and he's just come in and said there's a lovely young man that's just walked off the street and came in. His name's Christopher Pescott. Good afternoon, Christopher.
Good afternoon.
And he's walked off, and I love doing things like this. I think it's great. We're a local community station. Christopher has learning disabilities. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And what is it you're specialising in?
So I specialise in boxing. I learnt it when I was back in 2017. I've had 3 different professional trainers. 2 still train me now. So with obviously professional fighters, what's won belts and things like that. And I choose to obviously take that time, and I decided to set up my own boxing club. And lucky enough, George Mackenzie was setting up his own boxing club. So I went in there, I saw him doing it all up really nicely. And he went, oh, you wouldn't mind if I just could set up a boxing class? And he went, oh yeah, that'd be really good. So it's been running for the last, I'll probably say about 7 months now.
Right. Let's just quickly explain this to the listeners. The boxing club is for 18 to 18-year-olds upwards with learning disabilities.
That's correct.
So you are passing on what you've dealt with, and you're teaching. To simplify it, life's not over if you've got learning difficulties, and you can even box.
Yeah, and I choose to take that time to obviously people parents and carers who are struggling to find obviously those people with disabilities, especially what are worse off like Down syndrome and severe autism. And I always felt that they need a placement or something in their lives because there's not enough out there for them.
Is it, and I'm not going to personal, is it a hindrance with learning difficulties to box, or is it something that just comes naturally if you teach someone?
Well, I would say probably it takes a lot longer to learn it. But the good thing with learning disabilities, you can always twist it to their own advantage, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So they can kind of understand where it's coming from. So like if you had a regular trainer, what's never worked with people with disabilities in their lives, and he just teaches them how he teaches everyone else and they're not getting it, you've got to find that way on how they understand it and twist it so they understand it. But I believe that anyone can do anything. Anything's possible.
A great attitude to have. I think that's a brilliant attitude. Where does all this take place?
It all takes place in obviously Waterlooville Boxing Club, and also George Mackenzie has set up his own page on Facebook. What is really easy to find. You just put into the search bar Waterlooville Boxing Club, and it comes up with all of the, as well. I tag in all the videos on what I make, like put together. So I film what I do every single week on every bit of training session, and it goes onto his page as well. So I tag him in because I'm on social media.
Training sessions are 1 night a week, 2 night a week?
It's actually on a Saturday, on a weekend from 12 to 1, and we do the full hour. And we actually, like recently, what I've been teaching them is stuff with pads. So, you know, like what you would do with a normal trainer, and not a lot of gyms, on what I've recognised, would actually do that. You know, like let them wear the pads and then take it in turns so they can physically get in their mind what it's like to actually box and get close enough to it without it hurting their medical problems or anything. So it's a non-contact, but they learn professionally.
Right. Would there be a problem if it was people were taking a batter into the head, or?
Well, that's the thing. That's the great thing about George's gym, is that the fact that he's always there and he's got staff, and then there's me, and actually my wife, Kate Pescott, actually I've got her as a team leader as well. So we're both actually taking part in this together, what's really good. And we've been together for a very long time, 13 years. And she's got cerebral palsy as well.
Right.
So it's really good for her as well.
this is opening it up to a lot of people. If there's anybody out there listening that have these learning difficulties and you want to get involved, as Christopher said, there's a Facebook page. Go onto the Facebook page, look up George and all his contacts, and you can contact it through there.
Yes.
If not, and I lived in Waterloo for 42 years, and I've just said to Christopher, where is the boxing club? And he said, do you remember the old police station? And I'm trying to think, do you remember where the post office was? And I'm still trying to think. But you'll be able to get it. You can Google anywhere, Waterlooville Boxing Club, and you'll get the point of contact. I think it's brilliant that you've just walked off the street and said, can somebody interview me about this? I think that's what we're all about as a community radio station. And it is marvellous. Ian's walked you in there. We've had the chat. I feel really pleased for you that you've taken your own personal difficulties and are passing it on to another generation of people with the same problems. Christopher, thanks very much for coming in.
Oh, you're more than welcome anytime.
It's been great, off the cuff, and that is brilliant. So anytime you want to pop back in, please.